Here's exactly how you're going to create abundance as an artist. And guess what? It's not about working harder, and it's not about being talented. It has everything to do with your mindset. I am Beyond Taylor, and I am here to help you go beyond your self-imposed limitations. So if you struggle with making a consistent income from your art, or you feel like you're stuck in that like starving artist mentality, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to share 3 mindset shifts that took me from being a starving artist myself to being able to show up creatively in my own career, in my own business, and make a pretty good income from it while also helping others. And not only did it shift my mindset around my creativity, but it just shifted my mindset around abundance, period. So those are the 3 mindset shifts that I am going to share with you. But first, I want to talk about 2 common blocks that you may be experiencing right now. And the first one is the fact that you're like, okay, I want abundance, but I don't want that type of abundance, right? As an artist and as a creative person, you just have a completely outlook on life than I would say the mass, even though everybody's a creative, sorry. But you just have a different outlook. So what other people deem as, beautiful, luxury, what's in, what's now, you could care less because you are a trendsetter. You create the trends. So you don't really care what the masses are flocking to. And it seems like the global idea of abundance is something that you want no part in. So that could be a subconscious block that you have right now preventing you from showing up the way that you want to show up for yourself, for your own art, for your own creative career, is that you're like, well, if making a lot of money and being, well known and having like all the prestige looks like that, then I don't want it. You got to let that block go. If not, you're going to continue to sabotage yourself every step of the way, even though this is exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life. You want to be able to have a job that doesn't feel like a job. You want to be able to do what you love and get paid for it. Like, you want that, but you're telling yourself you don't because you don't want what the world is saying looks like abundance. You're like, that's not abundance to me. What you want is to have like a whole bunch of land. You want to be able to like take care of your family. You want to be able to donate. You want to be able to like live off the land. You want to be able to like have slow mornings and just drink tea and read books. Like, that's abundance to you, an abundance of time and abundance of freedom. And it doesn't necessarily have to deal with money, even though you do want to travel, right? You want to be able to travel when you want. So for you, it's like really time freedom, and you want to have like free thought, right? That's freedom to you. So your abundance is going to look different from somebody else's, but that doesn't mean like you want to have an abundance of like community, right? Where you guys are all open and authentic with each other. You want to have an abundance of love. Your abundance isn't going to look just like financial abundance, even though that helps, but that's not all that you want. So just leave that block alone so that we can move forward. Because if not, guess what? That block is going to prevent you from continuing to put yourself out there, because there's this inner fight with what you want and what you think is like, what you think being abundant and having like being well known and having this lifestyle, where you think it's going to leave you. Interested what I'm talking about? I do have a 3-month coaching program, 1-on-1, where I help creatives just like you become disciplined enough and believe in themselves enough to go after their dreams of being a full-time artist. So if that's what you're interested in, book a call down below. I also have a group membership. It's called The Confident Creator. It's only $47 a month, where we also do exactly what I'm talking about. And we have weekly workshops and Q&As. And also I have a free workshop called the Aligned Execution, Inspired Action. If you've been struggling with inspired action, this workshop will help you. It's free. Click the link down below. That's all the promo I got. Let's keep it going. The second block that I want to talk about is like attributing monetary value to your art will somehow make it feel like you're selling out. That is a common one, right? Especially in a field where it's like when artists start to make it, especially when we see like real big artists make it in the industry, in any type of industry, what seems to happen is that the smaller artists who didn't make it, they'll say they sold themselves out. They sold their soul in order to make it. So you subconsciously pick up on that in order for me to like make a name for myself as an artist, I would have to like sell my soul. And like putting a monetary value on my art is selling my soul, because art is like free and expressive. And oh my God, the light just changed. Sorry. But art is free and expressive, so I should just be able to like put it out. Something's going on with my ring light, so if the light is looking a little funny and crazy, that's why. Let me tell you something. You should absolutely be getting paid for your art. It does not make you a more noble person just because you're deciding to do it for shits and giggles and somebody else is deciding to put a price tag on it because they are saying that their time is valuable, and the time and the energy and effort that they are putting into a project, they believe that others will appreciate it more if it has a value associated with it, because that's just the truth, and that's human psychology. Check out the book Influence by Robert, I can't think of his last name, I just started it, but when you put a monetary value on something that you create, for just human nature, some people are going to see more value in it. So honestly, you're putting yourself at a disservice by not putting value on your art. You're putting yourself at a disservice for not taking yourself more seriously by deciding to make it free and accessible for all. That's great and good. You should want to make, it accessible for all. And this has nothing to do with elitism. It has nothing to do with capitalism. It has nothing to do with that. It's just about being able to sustain yourself within this world that we are living in by having others exchange some type of good for the valuable item that you are putting into the world and creating such an impact with. Do I make myself clear? So that's another block that you have to let go of. Now that we have the blocks out of the way, let's get into the mindset shifts. So mindset shift number 1 is going from scarcity thinking to abundance believing, right? To abundance thinking. So many artists feel like there's a limited amount of individuals who can make it. But with the rise of the internet, we see that that's just not the truth. If anything, you see that anybody can make it, right? Regardless of your interest, there's at least 1,000 other people who are interested, even if it's the most weird thing. Like if you say, I'm interested in purple teddy bears named Rainbow. I'm sure there's 1,000 other people in the world who has a purple teddy bear named Rainbow. And you talk about how you like to dress that teddy bear up, and then you talk about it online. If you are very passionate about it and very confident in what you do, other people will become interested in it as well. Okay? So there's not a limited market. The success is not for the lucky few. You create your own luck based on what you believe. It's all going to come down to belief. So you got to get out of this scarcity mindset of feeling like there's not enough to go around. If somebody in your field makes it, if somebody in your niche makes it, if somebody in your industry makes it, that does not mean that now they're taking everything and there's nothing left for you. You live in an abundant universe. There's more than enough to go around. So it's like being able to just constantly get yourself into an abundance mindset. One way of going about it is one way that's very practical to go about it is like to go outside and look that like there's an abundance of grass, there's an abundance of leaves, there's an abundance of air, right? In this universe, there's an abundance of everything. So why is it when it comes to your life and it comes to the opportunities and the way that you want to create and shape your life, you feel like there's a limited amount? It's just a belief, and you can literally release that belief through enough letting go, through enough seeing that there's other beliefs that are available and they're safe to have and they're comfortable to have and it's okay to have them. You can start to like just completely turn your attention away from that belief. The mindset shift that you need to have is that your unique niche or your unique sound or your unique art, your unique whatever, there are individuals who will love it. There are 8 billion people in the world. You cannot tell me that you can't find at least whatever your number is. Even if you say, I want to have 3 million fans. That's a lot of people. But let's just say that's your number, right? I want to have 3 million loyal fans. And that takes a while to build up the type of loyalty. But if that's what you want, no matter how weird you feel like your niche is, or no matter how out there or different you feel like what you do is, you can have 3 million people that love you if you are consistent enough for a long amount of time and you are able to create that type of trust with your audience. You will be able to experience that loyalty. But are you ready and are you willing to do what it takes to survive the highs and the lows that just come from being a human anyway, but especially that comes from being a creative? Are you ready? Mindset shift number 2 is progress over perfection. I love, love, love that line, because I know for a lot of you, you have so many ideas sitting in your notes. You have so many videos sitting in your draft. You have so many videos just sitting on your not SIM card. What is it called? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. The memory card on your camera. You got so many ideas in journals, so many ideas in docs, just scattered everywhere. But they don't see the light of day because you feel like it doesn't look the way that you think it should look, even though you're just getting started. Or maybe you've been doing this for a while and you feel like it's pretty good, but it's not as good as fill in the blank. You're comparing your day one to their day fucking 1,000. Like they've been doing this for years and you're just getting started, but you're like, well, it doesn't look like theirs. Who cares? It looks like yours. It looks like, and it's good enough for now. So when you are able to show up in this way to say, I love that this is how my work looks because this is the best that I can do. And I feel like you really got to get into this mindset of knowing that like this is your absolute best. But for a lot of you, you feel like, no, I can do more. Like I can do more. And then you do that and then you go over and over like I can do more, I can do more, I can do more until you exhaust yourself. You exhaust yourself to the point where you don't want to show up anymore. When really just put it out there. That's also the beauty of the internet, is that you don't have to like get it right to present it to a whole bunch of people because you have a limited amount of time and resources. You can perfect something because you like apps that reward you for posting more, like X, Twitter, like TikTok, even like Instagram. They have threads or even Instagram Reels. You don't get penalized for posting a lot. You actually get rewarded for posting a lot. So the fact that you can post a lot, which means that you have a lot to progress over time. I know so many people that post and they delete posts. They post and delete. Like it's so, and I watch it and I'm like, this is so, especially the younger generation. Oh, God bless their heart. But I'm just so exhausted for them because it's like, yo, who cares? That's your old work. You're supposed to be progressing. Like everything you put out is not going to be perfect. And if you are in that mindset, you're never going to post the content. You're never going to post your art. You're never going to feel like it's worthy enough for you to make a full-time income off of it. You got to get out of that mindset. Now in this video, I have so many videos about how to, I have a program, I have a monthly membership about how to do all these things. But right now, I'm telling you that like these are the blocks. Like this video is mainly to just say, become aware of this and like shift your mindset. How are you going to shift your mindset? You're going to shift your mindset by whatever medium you choose, right? Affirmations, imagination, scripting, self-inquiry, which is what I teach. I teach self-inquiry. I think that's the best method. I think all those other methods are band-aids. I feel like self-inquiry, you're definitely attacking the actual root. You're not just attacking the symptoms. You're attacking the like problem. I don't know why I'm blanking on how to actually say that, but like all those other things are attacking the symptom. I am like with self-inquiry, you are going right to the root cause of what's making you believe in any thoughts of like lack, limitation, and unworthiness and undeservedness. We're going straight to the source, which is this false belief in who you believe yourself to be. But I have so many videos about that. I'm not going to go on no riff because y'all know that I can, but I'm not going to go on no riff about that now. But just know that's the issue. But today we just talking about mindset shifts. So let me really back in and let's stay with the perfection to progress, right? Progress over perfection. So every time you create, it's a step forward. And every post or project is a chance to reach your audience. Even if it's not perfect, people don't care. All they care about is that your heart is in it and that you're being authentic and that you're being true to you. That's it. That's all. Okay? So before, I used to hesitate to post my work because I felt like it wasn't good enough, or I would take so many takes, or I mean just all these things, like really making sure I look good. I mean, that's important to make sure you're looking good on camera, even though I didn't really do all that much today because I'm like, I gotta get it out there, right? For me it's staying consistent. So it's been a long day. I'm coming out, got the camera out, and I'm like, I got a message. I want to get it out there, and I want to stay consistent. This is a part of my identity. I am a YouTuber. YouTube is a huge part of my business, right? It's how I attract new clientele. It's how I'm able to like create the most impact. So I don't care what I look like or what the video is going to look like. I'm going to get the message out there. And I didn't used to always be this way. So I really had to shift my mindset when I stopped. And the way that I did that was through reprogramming the subconscious mind, was through meditation, being present, doing self-inquiry, right? All these things, regulating my nervous system, all these things contributed to like these mindset shifts. So it's not as simple as like, oh, don't think this, think this. It's like, what's the work that you're doing, and are you staying consistent with your practices? And I mean, all of that goes into it, right? So yeah, I say all that to say I wasn't always like this, but it's possible. Anything is possible. Last but not least, the mindset I want you to go from is artist to entrepreneur. If you are wanting to become an artist as a full-time thing, you got to stop caring about metrics. You got to stop caring about how your content is doing. Like, care about it from the standpoint of, am I reaching the right people so that I can make sales, or that so that I can make the right impression so that they will like listen to my music, buy from me, whatever the case may be. But not so much because I want to feel good. Like that's a whole self-worth issue. For me, when I first started creating content, I really cared about followers and numbers. And then I thought about the business. Even though from the beginning I wanted this to be a business, but I got so caught up in the vanity metrics that by the time it came down to the business, I had 60,000 people with really no buyers because I didn't have the skills to run a successful business. I was too focused on just creating content. I was too focused on the creative side. I was too focused on the art. And a lot of artists, you do that. And a lot of like managers for musical artists or like any type of talent, managers will say, well, they just want to deal with the creative side. They don't want to deal with the business side. You should want to deal with both so that you know the industry, and because you want to like be an entrepreneur, you want to like do your own thing, and you don't want to get messed over. So even if like you don't always handle all of your back end when it comes to your creative business, you want to know what's going on so that you don't get effed over like so many artists do. So it's just important to stop thinking just like an artist, but to be able to wear all the hats. You are the creative. You also are the marketer. You are in charge of sales. You are in charge of your social media account. You are in charge of all these things, and you wear those hats for a while so that you know the business, and eventually you can start to like hire people, or you get signed, but you know what's going on because you were already wearing the hats for so long. So once I stopped viewing my art as a hobby, I started viewing it as a business. I noticed that I became very clear in who I was talking to, and I became very clear in like just the direction of my channel. I still continue to grow, but I'm not necessarily focused on growth. I mean, I am focused on growth, but I'm more so focused on like impact, the relationships that I am building, and also like who I'm talking to. I would say that I'm not growing as fast as I have in like any other area in my social media career, but I'm making the most money that I am. Why? Because I started thinking like entrepreneur and less like a YouTuber. I don't think any of you should start YouTube so you can make revenue from YouTube. You should start YouTube so that you can funnel them to your own business, so that nobody can control how much money you make. Because you can have really good money on YouTube, and then you have a slow month, and then now your AdSense is being, and I mean that can happen in business as well, but at least you're not relying on the algorithm. You're not relying on anything outside of yourself as a business person. And that's just like content creators. But any other field, you want to show up as a business person and not just like an artist. So yeah, that's all I got. My phone is about to die. If you found this helpful, you already know what to do. All the links are down below. Follow me on Instagram to keep up with 75 Hard. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye.